heat of this dream. Witness the strength and confidence of those who face these challenges, cause in the end we all win. Insurance Premier League. Insurance Premier League. Insurance Premier League. Insurance Premier League. Everybody say na 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 na.
And to be able to be there at that time, it's exciting to be able to help all those families and get them back to normal life. Because as a adjuster, that is our main goal, to restore families after catastrophe, bring them back, and even the community too, bring them back to some sort of normal life and help them.
For us to be able to help restore and enhance their lives, their businesses, and their communities. I mean, that's what it's all about. That's what's really exciting.
A big part of it for me is to be able to help people get their lives back on track and be able to move forward after an aftermath.
And that is what we do day in and day out, with helping people get back into their homes, with restoring the community. Our guys live and breathe that motto every single day.
Welcome to the pitch report. This is the second wicket that we have. This is the same wicket that is being used yesterday as well. If you have a look at it, there's no grass at all. Absolutely no grass. You will have the only assistance, as I've been telling before, is that the early morning dew, where the ball's going to swing around a bit for the first 3-4 overs. It's been challenging for the bowlers as well, because you don't have many experienced bowlers who will have to keep the control on the ball, keep the scoreboard as low as possible in the first few overs, get a couple of wickets and try to restrict the opposition from scoring more than 160, 170. You have a look at the pitch, there's absolutely nothing at all. It is an even wicket, and as the day progresses, the runs are going to be plenty out here at the Insurance Cricket Premier League Season 11. You have the live action coming after Varun won the toss and is elected to take first strike. Thank you. All right, it's a super Sunday here at the Ajman grounds, at the Al Malik grounds of the Insurance Cricket Premier League Season 11. This is the play-to-win game between Nasco and Munich Re. We have Varun from Nasco and Munich Re, Captain Talha, who's come back after a short break. We have our official right here in front, who's going to give the coin to Talha, who will be flipping the coin. Varun will be calling. Tails is the call. Tails, Varun, you won the toss. What do you want to do?
We will bat first again.
You don't have the services of Uttam, who's a vital cog in your lineup. How's the replacement? How much do you contemplate the replacement in place of him?
Uttam's absence today is a big experience loss for us, but nevertheless, skill-wise, we are covered. Hopefully, the guys will come through and bring out their best and put up a good fight.
Riding on the back of a previous victory and knowing that you have beaten Munich in the previous game, how much of a team talk and how much of a confidence do you think coming into this game?
Every game is a new game. given that we have won a game, we go in that confidence, but anything can happen. They are a good team, good enough team to who can beat us. So having that in mind, we will give it our best and try to put up the same total we did with in the previous game.
And what sort of a total are you looking to put up here today?
Anything between 180 plus would be a good total.
Anyway, thank you. And we'll be talking to Tala. Tala, welcome back. Just the chat before the toss, you were having a chat with him that you have players who are stepping up and having a good experience. I mean, when you come into this in such a long tournament and you be not seen success, how much of a motivation talk and how much the hunger levels do you think do the boys have?
I think was our first tournament, but I think the way people have stepped up, we've done a lot of practice, and I think people do realize that they can do it, and so they've been working pretty hard on it. There were a lot of patches, individual patches of brilliance, which we saw in the tournament, especially against the bigger teams. We put them under pressure. I think what was missing was that we were not able to close out the games, but then I think everybody realizes it, and they are hopefully looking to learn from their mistakes and trying to close out the games and win more matches.
Anyway, to sum it up, I think so. This tournament for you is more of a learning curve, and then preparing yourself for bigger challenges in the forthcoming seasons.
Definitely learning curve, but no mistake about it. We are here to win, so we are going to put everything we can and win today's game.
Anyway, thank you for it. The news from the center. Varun from Nasco won the toss and he's elected to take first strike on this first game of the day. Stay tuned for live action coming up. Thank you. Morning and welcome to the first game of the day between Nasco and Munich Re. Nasco captain Varun won the toss, elected to take first strike. As you can see, he's already there at the center taking strike for his side. Have a look at his career stats. 22 matches, 696, strike rate of 133. The last game he scored a century and will be hoping to carry on that performance that he had last week. His partner Gaurav, 18 matches, 332, strike rate of 98. He gave a good account to his partner last week. And Subhan, who is going to open the bowling, 13 matches, 9 wickets, economy of 5.65. That's an absolute gold dust when you come bowl in the power play. Tala, the skipper of Munich Re, who had missed the last game, has joined back the squad. We'll be hoping for some better results this time. The last time these two teams played each other, Nasco got the better of them, so they will be riding on that confidence. First game, straight towards the man at covers for a single. First runs on board. Or rather, the single was declined. So that's no runs on the board. This time playing it towards the square leg mid-wicket boundary for first runs. Starts up at the boundary. So 4 runs to the total. And Varun is up and running. Time tossing it up outside the off stump. Varun lets that go, hoping it for a wide, but not to be. It's just 4 for no loss. Shot this time again, plays it towards the square leg boundary this time, and it reaches the fence again. So 8 runs on board, and all the runs coming off the bat of Varun so far. Gaurav is yet to take strike. The moment it's slightly short, and with the pace that it comes on, there's enough time for Varun to just maneuver it to wherever he feels he can get those runs, and this time he gets it towards the square leg boundary. 8 for the loss of no wicket. Again, this time towards the cover region, and there's protection out there. The man at extra covers keeps it down to a single. Score moves on to 9. Brings Gaurav on to strike. End of over number 1, 9 for no loss. Syed Mudassir, the bowler, comes in. He's going to right arm over the wicket, bowling to Varun. Goes onto the back foot, punches it down the ground. There's a man at long off who comes, Mohsin, who comes down to his right, keeps it down to a single. Score to double figures. Score moves on to 10. So does Varun. Varun takes strike. This time plays it towards point. Takes off for a quick single. So he's off the mark. Score moves on to 11. So last time these two teams played each other, Nasco had scored 161 for 6 in their 20 overs and managed to keep Munich down to 153. There's a close margin of 8 runs in that game. Sam plays it towards mid wicket. There's a man there, but still can't stop that single, so one more run added. Varun with another single towards mid on. Score moves on to 13. 13 for the loss of no wicket. The last time these two played, Gaurav was out for the first ball that he had faced. He was bowled by Subhan. This time has been a bit cautious. Got himself going, and Varun, as usual, is at his best. This time plays it towards mid-off. There's a dot ball there. For no loss. This time drives it again towards short covers, no run, 2 consecutive dot balls. That's a good comeback by the bowler. He's kept them quiet. So after a relatively expensive first over, this one's going only for 4 runs. 13 for the loss of no wicket. Shubhan continues. Varun. Gaurav goes on the back foot, punches it towards extra cover. The man at short cover is missing that one. So the man at extra cover doing the fielding there. And a single to the total. Score moves on to 14. And another single. So what these two batsmen are doing right now is they are making sure that they don't get too many dot balls. If when they get a boundary or more than that, they will be happy to take a single, keep that scoreboard moving, and try to post a formidable total. 15 for no loss. This time straight towards short covers and a good fielding and a quick throw back to the bowler, making sure the batsman has to reach his ground. One more run to the total, 16 for no loss. Slightly outside the off stump. Varun making use of the width that he got, plays it towards the extra cover boundary. They come back for two. That's quick, good running. The throw was pretty weak and allows that extra overthrow to go in. So 2 runs with an addition of that overthrow, 3 more runs added to the total. Score moves on to 19. Shubhan again to slightly short this time, plays it down towards extra cover again. The man kept busy out there. This time a better throw allows the batsman only to take a single. Score moves on to 20. End of the over, 20 for the loss of no wicket.
And to be able to be there at that time, it's exciting to be able to help all these families and get them back to normal life. Because as a adjuster, that is our main goal, to restore families after catastrophe, bring them back, and even the community too, bring them back to some sort of normal life and help them.
For us to be able to help restore and enhance their lives, their businesses, and their communities. I mean, that's what it's all about. That's what's really exciting.
A big part of it for me is to be able to help people get their lives back on track and be able to move forward after an aftermath.
And that is what we do day in and day out, with helping people get back into their homes, with restoring the community. Our guys live and breathe that motto every single day.
Said Mudassir to continue. Gaurav on strike. Misses that one into the keeper's gloves. We're in the power play still, so only 2 fielders allowed outside the 30-yard circle. Batsman will want to take that risk and try to pepper those boundaries. At this time, Gaurav comes down the track, plays it towards long on. There's a man there for that. Shard, the fielder there. 1 more run added. Score moves on to 21. This time back past the bowler. There's a man there for at long on again. He's kept busy. Keeps it down to a single only. And both the batsmen quite easily completing that single. And score moves on to 22. Varun moves on to 16. And Gaurav batting 6 of 9. Inner edges that one. The keeper quite quick on his toes. Keeps it to a dot ball. Current run rate of 6 runs and over. Well bowled, just keeping it outside the fifth stump. Gaurav must be unhappy with himself. He could have made use of it, a bit of width that was there. No run there. Last ball of the over. Full toss, plays it towards mid-off. There's a fielder there, keeps it down to a single again. So end of the over, 23 for the loss of no wicket. Gaurav batting 7 of 12 and Varun Bangera 16 of 12 balls. First change coming in. Shad the bowler outside the off stump. Umpire calling it a legal delivery. Trying to entice the batsman to go over covers. Probably get a healthy edge towards the keeper, but not to be. It's a dot ball. Again outside the off stump. Another miss for Gaurav. Suddenly starting to look a bit frustrated out there. He has to keep up that tempo. He needs to make sure that they make use of the power play, else they could be behind the 8 ball here. So 3 consecutive dot balls. And what more does it do is not only does it put pressure on the batsman, it puts a pressure on the non-striker as well, who at the moment is going above run of ball. So he will want to take strike as much as possible. At this time, Gaurav plays it in the air towards the point boundary, breaks the shackles with that one. 4 runs added to the total. Shad will be unhappy with himself. He kept it out, persisting outside the off stump. And this time, you have a look at it, it was just enough blade on the ball over the man at point, and it races away towards the point boundary. 27, his first boundary, and he moves into double figures. He moves on to 11 of 16 balls. Fifth ball of the over. This time drives it through covers. There's a man at extra cover there for that. Keeps it down to a single. Brings Varun on to strike for the last ball of the over. Shad into bowl the last ball of the over. So plays it, digs it into the pitch. There's a single down towards extra cover. 6 runs coming off the over. What well Shad has done is not only has he just given 6 runs, he's made sure that he's completed the over in just 2.5 minutes. That saves a lot of time for the fielding side. Said Mudassir to continue. He's bowling his third over on the trot. 29 for Varun comes down the track and he yorks himself. So no run there. Keeps the score to 29. Varun batting 17 of 13. And Gaurav batting 12 of 7. Again, this time foolish delivery. The man at covers unable to cut it off and races away towards the boundary. So one more boundary. Score moves on to 33. Varun moves on to 21 of 14 with that third boundary. Have a look at it. Just waits for it in the slot and misfield by the fielder, and the ball racing away towards the mid-off boundary. Mohsin unable to cut that off. Mudassir to continue. Third ball of the over. This time plays it towards mid-on, and a chance of a catch being dropped. It was dipping onto the fielder. He couldn't take that one, and Varun gets a reprieve. Varun trying to get a move on the last 3 balls of the power play, so he'll want to make use of it. This time onto the pads, and he doesn't need a second invitation. He plays it towards square leg. The man gives the chase there, and the complete and easy double there. Wanting to go for the third one, but declined. So 2 more runs to the total. Score moves on to 35. For no loss. This time again down the ground, plays it towards mid-on. Fielder allowed out there, making sure he doesn't allow the batsman to cross over for a single. Last ball of the over coming up. Last ball of the power play. 35 for no loss. This time gets it over the man at mid-on. The ball racing away towards the boundary. So a good end to the power play. Good end to the over for them. 6 overs completed, 39 for the loss of no wicket. Varun Bangera 27 of 19 with 4 boundaries, and Gaurav Achani 12 of 17 with 1 boundary. Syed Mudassir's last over going for 10 runs. Over number 7 to start. Shara to continue. Varun trying to cut this one, misses that one completely, and another dot ball. Second ball of the over coming up. Again outside the off stump, this time towards the vacant third man area, and 4 more runs. Again, this was slightly short and a bit too much width out there, and the ball finding its way to the fence. Score moves on to 43. And now slowly Varun is finding his stride in the game. 16 of 19 balls. This time under edging this one, going right behind the keeper, completes a single, so 1 more run added, brings the score on to 44. For the loss of no wicket. Both these teams playing in the plate event, unable to make it to the Super 8, but there is still a lot to play for in this Insurance Cricket Premier League Season 11, where teams have competed against each other in the league phase. This time slightly short. One goes on the back foot and plays it towards long on. Mohsen, the fielder there, keeps it down to a single. Score moves on to 45. Sam Gaurav goes on the back foot, plays it towards point, but there's a chance of a run out, and the asking for the decision, and that's been referred upstairs. The batsman looks in trouble. There was an indecision out there. Direct throw, you always have a chance, a better chance rather. And let's see what the screen shows out here. One struggling out here. One bounce ball onto the sticks, and the batsman's bat is in the air. An elementary error. Had the bat been grounded, it would have been safe. And the bat's decision is out there. The umpire signaling out, and Gaurav is on his way back. Played it towards point, indecision. He went for it, and then in the bargain lost his wicket. क्या हुआ स्क्रीन स्क्रीन अटक गई क्या हाँ? Welcome back. So the first success for Munich Ray. Seeing the back of Gaurav. Brings the number 3 batsman to the centre. Jagdish Lakshmanan. Varun on strike. As the batsman was out at the non-striker's end. Let's have a look at that. Comes on the track, plays it towards point. Fielder there, misfielding it. They thought there was a single there. And he went onto his knees and threw that one. And the ball finds its way to the stumps. And that was the end of Gaurav. Welcome back after the follow the first wicket. Another dot ball to follow, and then we have over number 8 to begin. End of 7 overs, 45 for the loss of 1. Salahuddin bowling to Jagdish, who plays it towards covers, and off the mark with a single. Jagdish, a busy player, likes to keep the scoreboard ticking with the singles. So I'm slightly short. अरे उसको बोल वापस घर स्कोर में अब्दुल रहमान स्कोर में गलती है यार वरुण स्ट्राइक पे जगदीश को बोल रहा है single to Varun. Score moves on to 47. Another single. Jagdish again plays it towards point and gets another single. Varun on strike, plays it down towards long on for a single. Score moves on to 48. अभी ठीक है Sam plays it down the ground, plays it for a single. Score moves on to 5. Jagdish plays it towards mid wicket, takes off for a single, wants to come back for 2 and makes it quite comfortably. So 2 more runs added, the 50 coming up. Coming up in 51. This time will be called a wide. The first extra of the innings coming in the 8th over. 9th over, 8.1 completed. This time off the back foot, plays it towards covers the man from point running at the edge of the circle and keeps it down to a single. Moves on to 53. Varun this time plays it towards covers again. The man at extra cover coming in towards the circle and keeps it down to a single. Score moves on to 54. Jagdish plays it towards mid wicket. There's a fielder there. Misfield. Single completed and they come back for second very easily. So a slight misfield and both these batsmen quite quick on their toes. Make use of that opportunity and get another extra run for their side. Score moves on to 56 and Jagdish moves on to 7 of 7, keeping strike again. Soft hands plays it towards point. There's no run. They're wanting the single. Varun declining that one. Subban continuing. He's bowled 4 overs in this third over of his spell. Another single towards short mid wicket. 57 for 1. End of Shubhan's over. His 3 overs have cost 24 runs, no wicket. Varun batting 31 of 24 with 4 boundaries and Jagdish batting 8 of 9 with no boundaries.
And to be able to be there at that time, it's exciting to be able to help all these families and get them back to normal life. Because as a adjuster, that is our main goal, to restore families, after catastrophe, bring them back, and even the community too, bring them back to some sort of normal life and help them.
For us to be able to help restore and enhance their lives, their businesses, and their communities. I mean, that's what it's all about. That's what's really exciting.
A big part of it for me is to be able to help people get their lives back on track and be able to move forward after an aftermath.
And that is what we do day in and day out, with helping people get back into their homes, with restoring the community. Our guys live and breathe that motto every single day.
Salahuddin to continue. 1 over. Asking for an LBW but not to be. Umpire says not out. Salahuddin had given away just 4 runs in the first over he's bowled and starts off with a dot in the second over. (57 for 1) at the end of 9 overs, just going at about 6 runs an over. Projected score will get them to 125. This time plays it towards deep mid wicket. There's a man stationed there, Shah, and by the time he feels again that extra run being taken by the batsman, and score moves on to 59. This is what you do when you don't get those boundaries. You make sure that you run hard, you convert the ones into twos and twos into threes, and you make sure you keep the scoreboard ticking, as these two have been doing this time. In the air, there's nobody there at short covers. The ball going towards the covers fielder for a single, and the score moves on to 60. Brings Varun on to strike. Shot this time, and the keeper was not ready for that one. Edges that one, and it races away towards the third man boundary. A chance gone, so score moves on to 64. Have a look at it. Bounces that one, and Shad. Sorry, that was Talha, the keeper and the captain of the side. Very well knowing that the chance been fluffed. The score moves on to 64. This time plays it towards the long on boundary. A single. Ambling across for that single. Last ball of the 10th over before we go in for a drinks break and the teams change ends and make sure that the wicket's evenly used. This time Virendra plays it in the air. The man at point unable to reach that ball. So a single to end the 10th over. 66 for the loss of 1 wicket. As we read the scorecard before we go in for a break, Varun and Gaurav started the innings. Varun not out 36 of 26 with 5 boundaries. Gaurav Vachani, the man run out by Salahuddin for 17 of 21 with 2 boundaries. And Jagdish Lakshman is a busy player, kept 12 of 13, no boundaries. 1 extra in the innings so far. And that's an effort that's quite commendable when you have come into such tournaments. Shubhan Ahmed, 3 overs, 24 runs, no wicket. Syed Mudassir, 3 overs, 17 runs, no wicket. Shad Chara, 2 overs, 12 runs. And Salahuddin, 2 overs, 13 runs. The 1 wicket to fall at the score of 45 in 6.5. As we take a short break and come back to start the second half of the innings. Over number 11 to begin, Mohsen comes into the attack for the first time. Jagdish taking strike to him. Trying to cut this one outside off stump. The umpire deems it as a legal ball. So dot ball to start the 11th over. Change in wicket-keeper Tala has given the gloves away. Mohsen to Jagdish. Outside off stump, trying to go back and play this towards mid-wicket. Ball rolling away towards the short third. Keeper fields that one and a single to the A single to start off. Tala coming into the attack. He's given away the gloves to come into bowl. And Jagdish plays a lovely glance of his legs towards the backward square. Takes a single. Score moves on to 75 as Tala bowls to his counterpart who goes on the back foot, plays it towards mid wicket. Shot the fielder there. And he moves on to 38 with that single. And the score moves on to 76. Last ball of the over this time. Plays it in the air again towards the cover boundary. The fielder this time coming in a few yards faster. So keeps it down to a single. End of over number 12. 82 for the loss of 1 wicket. Jagdish Lakshman batting 22 of 21 balls. And Varun batting 39 of 30. Mohsen to continue. Over number 13. Jagdish comes down the track, plays it towards long off. The fielder there keeps it down to a single. Jagdish wanting to turn around for the second. Looks at his partner. And Varun quite sensibly declines. Mohsen this time to Varun, who plays it in the air towards the mid-wicket boundary. for 4. So score moves on to 87. He moves on to 43. Slowly trying to break the shackles as we move in towards the end of the innings. As this, have a look at it, slightly short, goes on the back foot, one onto one leg, and one bounce into the fence she goes. Score moves on to 87. Mohsen comes into bowl to Varun. This time slightly faster and plays towards a man at long off who keeps it down to a single. And score moves on to 88. Quite evident that the last ball was short, so he will want to compensate. He bowled it more fuller, gave the width that one could only manage it for a single, as he bowls a wide, wanting to bowl a quicker one. And Jagdish always in search of that extra run, but only will have to settle with that wide that they got. The score moves on to 89. Doesn't need to lose his radar. Mohsen needs to concentrate, come back. Much better ball, fuller. The moment Jagdish came down the track, he bowled it full. And one more run to the total. Score moves on to 90. Umpire signals 4 balls completed in the over. 2 more balls to go, barring any wides or no balls. He's given away 16 of the 1.4 he's bowled. This time down the leg side again will be called a wide, so you'll have to re-bowl. So only 4 balls completed in the over. Mohsen doesn't need to do anything fancy. He's done well so far. He just needs to make sure he keeps it to the minimum. Get a wicket or so if possible, as this time Varun goes towards mid-wicket. Ken the fielder there. 1 run completed. Jagdish again lurking out of his crease, hoping to sneak another run. Not to be. 1 more run. The score moves on to 92 with that single. Takes Varun on to 45 of 33. Jagdish on the back foot, plays it towards short cover. Unable to stop that single. So 1 run to end that over. 13 overs completed, 93 for 1. Takes Jagdish on to 25 of 24. And Mohsen Ali 2 overs, 19 runs, no wicket. Salah to continue, will start off with a wide. This time they have been guilty of giving away those extra runs. They had only given 1 extra in the first 10 overs. And now they are adding on to that tally as the score moves on to 94. 7 extras in the innings. This time on the back foot, plays it towards extra covers. 1 run completed. Score moves on to 95. Run rate now steadily creeping up. He's gone up to 7.2. Varun goes down the down and races towards the long on boundary. The man at long on was quite wide and quite slow in reacting. Allows that ball to reach the boundary. So Varun reaches 49. Score moves on to 99. 7 boundaries to his credit. No 6s in the match yet. Current run rate of 7.4 should get them to 148. As another wide. So the 100 coming up in 13.2 completed overs. 100 for the loss of 1 wicket. And this is the 8th extra in the innings. Remember, the last time these two played, Munich nearly track down that score of 162. They just fell down by 8 runs. As this one goes in the air, the man at short covers takes that one. So a well-deserved half century missed, and Varun is quite livid with himself. He had come down the track wanting to play it over the long on boundary, miscues this one. Have a look at it, a couple of steps down and miscues this one, takes it on the full, and the man at short cover, Syed Mudassir, completes a easy catch, 49 of 35 with 7 boundaries. Just still talking to himself, talking to Biju, and just probably explaining it to him what went wrong. So second wicket down, 100 for 2 in 13.3 overs. Biju, 24 matches, 154 runs, strike rate of 89, coming at a very crucial position in terms of the match and the batting position that he come number 4, probably a vital cog before you go into the middle order. The last time these two played, Biju had scored 25 plus in that innings, so he will want to make a good contribution to his side. Sam called a very good ball. Tala making sure he keeps it outside the off stump, shapes the ball away. Biju happy to let that one go, so score remains on 100. 13.4 overs completed. Shot, plays it towards the cover boundary. There's a single there. Score moves on to 101. Onto the pads, plays it towards short square leg for a single. End of the over, 102 for 2. The man out, Gaurav, was the first to go, and then in the last over it was Varun was out for 49 of the 35 he had faced.
And to be able to be there at that time, it's exciting to be able to help all these families and get them back to normal life. Because as a adjuster, that is our main goal, to restore families, after catastrophe, bring them back, and even the community too, bring them back to some sort of normal life and help them.
For us to be able to help restore and enhance their lives, their businesses, and their communities. I mean, that's what it's all about. That's what's really exciting.
A big part of it for me is to be able to help people get their lives back on track and be able to move forward after an aftermath.
And that is what we do day in and day out, with helping people get back into their homes, with restoring the community. Our guys live and breathe that motto every single day.
Shah comes back for a second spell outside the off stump, and Jagdish plays it towards the cover boundary. Score moves on to 103. He's given away 12 runs in the first 2 overs that he's bowled, so quite economical. Jagdish now will have to take the onus on himself and try to get a few boundaries for his side. As this time Biju plays it in the air towards the point boundary, the fielder from point giving the chase, and the ball wins the race. So a boundary to Biju. He is now 5 of 3 and the score moves on to 107. Slightly short, sits up to be hit, and he just sends this towards the point boundary where the ball picks up pace as it reaches the boundary and the fielder is unable to cut it off. Score 107 for 2. This time short again and just inside the trim line. Biju unable to make use of that and at the dot ball. Outside the off stump again, this time towards the point boundary. The man at covers coming round and fields that one, keeps it to a single. Score moves on to 108. This time Virender comes on the track, plays it towards the cover fence. There's a fielder there, a misfield, wanting the second, but Biju not interested. So a single added to the total. Score moves on to 109. Slightly slower this time. Biju goes on the back foot, plays it towards short covers. Mudassir, the fielder there, and one more run added. Score moves on to 110. What Nasco have done well is, apart from not getting too many boundaries, they made sure that the singles keep coming. And as of now, 112 at the 110 rather at the end of 15 overs. So the last 5 coming up. Syed Mudassir comes back into the attack again. He starts the 16th over of the innings, 110 for 2. Biju on strike. Plays it with soft hands towards the man at deep mid wicket. Shot the fielder there and one more run added. So 111 the score. Jagdish on strike. This time plays it again towards the man at mid wicket. By the time Ken fields it, 2 more runs added and the score moves on to 113. And Jagdish now moves into the 30s. He is now 31 of 29. Onto the back foot towards mid wicket. Shot this time much quicker, just keeps it down to a single only. 114. Biju plays it in the air towards long off and misfield there by the fielder, and the ball just stops inside the boundary. The complete 2. We're in the always on the lookout for that extra run. Biju not interested. 2 more runs added. Mudassir to Biju. Again, slightly full, plays it in the air towards the point region. By the time the fielder from covers comes around to his left, 2 more runs added. And score moves on to 118. 8 runs coming off the 5 balls. There's no boundary scored. You have a look at the previous ball where the fielder unable to come towards the catch. He runs to his left, but does miss that one, and we have another wide added to the total. So 1 more run added. 9 runs coming off this, and What that does is not only do you have to bowl that extra ball, you have to make that extra effort, you give away an extra run. So all in advantage of the batting team when you bowl a wide or a no ball. As Mudassir comes in, this time again floats this one outside off stump. The batsman complete a single. Talat just making a mock chance for run out, but not to be. End of the over. Have a look at that drop catch. Runs to his left, half an effort. All he does, neither is he close to the catch, nor does he stop that second run. Luckily for him, the ball didn't cross over to the boundary. So 120 for 2 at the end of 16. Saladin comes into the attack, back into the attack. He's bowled 2 overs and given away 13 runs, bowling to Biju. Asking for an LBW. The batsman, the umpire deems that he's batted that one, so run added to the total. Had not hit the bat, he would have probably been a candidate for LBW, but as of now, it's 121 for 2, and Biju is off strike with that single. He's moved on to 14, as this time down the leg side, the keeper misses that one, and 5 wides to the total. Score moves on to 126. What had been a commendable effort in the first 10 overs where there was only 1 extra run given, and now they've been guilty of giving away 14 extras. So this is something which they will have to think about, as Jagdish is on 32 of 30 and Biju is on 14 of 11 with 1 boundary. Salahuddin in the air, but there's nobody there in that vacant short mid wicket. Ball goes to his deep mid wicket, and 1 more run added. Score moves on to 127. So the run rate at the end of 10 overs was 6.6, has now reached 7.8. What would have been a projected score of 132 has already now reached 156. So they will be eyeing more than 160 plus, just to make sure that they have enough in the bank to defend. Nasco coming into the batsman, and Biju plays it towards short mid wicket for a single. And the score moves on to 128. And a lazy bit of fielding allows another couple of overthrows to be added to the score. Brings Jagdish on to strike. This time Jagdish plays it in the air towards the cover boundary. Cover fielder fields it 1 bounce, throws it back to the bowler. So score moves on to 131. And he moves on to 33 of 31. Biju on strike. Plays this towards the fine leg boundary, so 4 more runs added, and they're now having to get a move on with wickets in the bank. They can go full throttle now. Goes to 135, and Biju makes it to 21 of 13. Have a look at it. Walks in onto his pads and helps it way towards the fine leg boundary. The man at short fine is just a spectator there. 135 for 2. Last ball of the over. This time in the air. and the man at point is unable to take that one. The man from covers by the time comes around. 2 more runs added, so score moves on to 137. .137 for 2. Current run rate now 8.1. Tara on to bowl to Jagdish, who plays it towards mid wicket, and 2 more runs added. And he moves on to 36 of 33. Comes down the track, plays it towards long off. 1 run completed. Both the batsmen comfortably completing that single. And the score moves on to 140. We're in the 18th over. 17.2. So technically another 20 more deliveries. They will be eyeing the 170 mark at least. As Biju plays this over the bowler's head, the man at long on will come around. Both these batsmen are looking for those quick singles, if not boundaries, and they are at the moment doing quite well. Wide down leg side. 1 more run added. Score moves on to 142. And Jagdish got some bat on it. This could have reached the fine leg fence, not to be. Playing from the edge of the crease. This time in the air, plays it towards covers. 1 more run completed. Score moves on to 143 with that single. Slightly slows this one up, but Biju still quite easily sending it towards the long on boundary for another single and keeping that scoreboard moving. 144. Last ball of the 18th over coming up. Down the track, will be called wide again. Just clutching his back a bit, probably a bit tired. He's already ran 38 runs for himself and more for his partners. So down the ground, unable to make use of that opportunity. So end of the over. 145 for the loss of 2 wickets. Mohsin comes back. He's bowled 2 overs, 19. Comes back to bowl his last over of the day. He's bowling the penultimate over as Biju plays this one in the air and over the long on fence for a maximum. The first maximum coming in the 19th over, but comes at a timely moment for them, and the score moves on to 150. 151 for 2 at the end of 18.1. Have a look at that. Clears the long on boundary by quite a distance, so that's Pichu making use of those long levers that he has. This time will be called wide again. Smart enough the moment he saw it going out off the tram lines, didn't want to fiddle with it, gets another single to the total. Nasco moves on to 152. This time swipes across the line and the ball goes towards the mid-wicket boundary. Ken the fielder there, and one more run added. And Nasco moves on to 153. Biju now batting 31 of 17 with 2 boundaries and a maximum. Virendra this time down the ground, plays it towards mid-on and gets another single. Nasco moves on to 154. 9 runs coming of the first 3 balls of the innings, as Biju this time trying to play it hard towards the cow corner, manages to send it to long on. Nevertheless, a single being scored, so score moves on to 155. 5th ball of the penultimate over to come up, as Mohsin bowls it to Virendra. He plays this cut towards the extra cover boundary, so 1 more run added. Score moves on to 156. This time Biju goes on the back foot, plays it towards deep mid wicket, and Shad is just a spectator out there. End of an expensive over from Mohsin, giving away 17 runs. Have a look at it. Just goes on the back foot and sends this one over the mid wicket fence. All Shad can do is turn around and get the ball.
And to be able to be there at that time, it's exciting to be able to help all these families and get them back to normal life. Because as a adjuster, that is our main goal, to restore families, after catastrophe, bring them back, and even the community too, bring them back to some sort of normal life and help them.
For us to be able to help restore and enhance their lives, their businesses, and their communities. I mean, that's what it's all about. That's what's really exciting.
A big part of it for me is to be able to help people get their lives back on track and be able to move forward after an aftermath.
And that is what we do day in and day out, with helping people get back into their homes, with restoring the community. Our guys live and breathe that motto every single day.
Come back, last over coming up, 162 for 2. Mohsin giving away 17 runs of that over, the most expensive of the innings so far. And Tala, the captain, will come to finish off proceedings for his side in the last over. Jagdish Lakshman on strike. This time plays it in the air, short of the man at covers, and they complete a single. Jagdish moves on to 40 of 38. And Biju out there, who's come in at number 4, has already scored 2 boundaries and 2 maximums. He's on 39 of 20. He's on strike now. As plays this in the air towards long off. They complete a single. And the score moves on to 164. Well, Tala doing well at the moment in this over. He's just kept it down to 2 singles in the last over of the first 2 balls. At this time, Jagdish plays it softly towards the man at long on. Both the batsmen just walking across that single. And the score moves on to 165. Last 3 balls of the innings. At this time, Biju goes across the line, plays it towards deep mid-wicket. A single completed. Jagdish wanting the second, but Biju initially was not interested. Probably wanting to save his legs for the last 2 balls of the innings. Down the ground, misses that one, and another extra will be called a bye. Doesn't matter. It adds to the total, so score moves on to 166. 2 more balls left in the innings. 167 rather. Last ball of the innings coming up. Last ball, Biju on strike. Can he get it over the boundary? Misses that one. It's a dot ball to end the over. So 5 runs coming off the last over. And the innings closes out at 167 for 2. I'll have a look at the scorecard. Varun Bangera caught Syed Mudassir, bowled Tala for 49 of 35 with 7 boundaries. Gaurav Achani was run out by Salahuddin for 17 of 21 with 2 boundaries. Jagdish Lakshman 42 of 41, no boundaries or sixes to his credit. And Biju Panikal coming at number 4 scored a cameo of 41 of 23 with 2 boundaries, 2 sixes, 18 extras in the innings, 17 wides and 1 bye. Rounding up the 167. Have a look at the bowling cards. Subhan Ahmed started off with 3 overs, 24 runs, no wicket. Syed Mudassir 4 overs, 27 runs, no wicket. Shah Chara 4 overs, 24 runs, no wicket. Salahuddin 3 overs, 30 runs, no wicket. Mohsin Ali, the expensive of them, 3 overs, 36 runs, 2 wickets. And the pick of the bowlers, Tala Tanveer, the captain, was initially keeping wickets and then came back to bowl 3 overs, 25 runs, and the lone wicket taker for the side. The fall of wickets, first wicket fell at the score of 45 and the second wicket fell at the score of 100. So 168 is what Munich RE Mena need in their 20 overs when they come back to chase down the score. Stay tuned for live action in a few minutes.
And to be able to be there at that time, it's exciting to be able to help all these families and get them back to normal life. Because as a adjuster, that is our main goal, to restore families, after catastrophe, bring them back, and even the community too, bring them back to some sort of normal life and help them.
For us to be able to help restore and enhance their lives, their businesses, and their communities. I mean, that's what it's all about. That's what's really exciting.
A big part of it for me is to be able to help people get their lives back on track and be able to move forward after an aftermath.
And that is what we do day in and day out, with helping people get back into their homes, with restoring the community. Our guys live and breathe that motto every single day.
Welcome back to Chase Underway. 168 is what Munich RE Mena need in their 20 overs. Subhan Ahmed and Shah Chara are going to open the innings for Subhan match. career stats: 14 matches, 315 runs, 104 is what his strike rate is. And Shad, 12 matches, 67 runs to his credit. Bowler. First ball, full toss, plays it towards deep mid wicket. Biju, the fielder there, keeps the striker. Shabir, the bowler, is given away no ball of the first ball that he bowls, so a free hit, and the free hit continues. It'll be 2 to the total. Shabir has played 14 matches. He's got 1 wicket, economy of 11.12. He has this time sends it towards the man at mid on for a single. So Shubhan off the mark with that single. We see a crow coming onto the scene. Standing right in front of the square leg camera. And now flying away, brings Shad onto strike. Shah don't strike for the first time, trying to cut this one away from his body. No run there. Dot ball. Score remains on 3. 2 extras to start of the innings. That was a no ball and then a wide, and then followed by a single. Driving this one back to the bowler. The bowler misfields of his own bowling, allows that single to be completed. Score moves on to 4. Both these teams have faced each other once in the initial phase of the tournament, where Nasco won by 8 runs. So a neck and neck competition expected by both these sides, as Shabir bowls another wide and the score moves on to 5. Doesn't have a fluent sort of run up that a fast bowler, medium pacer needs. Have a look at it, and right here he just doesn't flow himself. At this time, he batsman plays it towards third man. By the time the fielder gets around to field the ball, 2 runs added. Shubhan moves on to 3. Score moves on to 7. Again, down the leg side will be called a wide, so 1 more run. Score moves on to 8. Require just a shade above 8, 8.4 at the start of the innings. They're already at 8.28. So again, will be called a no ball, so 1 more run along with the extra run. And score moves on to 2-10. Umpire signaling that it's an extra ball. It's a free hit. Let's see what Shad does. Goes on the back foot, plays it towards mid-on. The fielder there keeps it down to a single. One more run added. So moves on to 11. Shad moves on to 2. Already 5 extras given away in this first over. As the score moves on to 12 with the completion of the first over. Expensive and a lengthy over comes to an end. Gaurav to bowl the second over outside the off stump, and an edge caught behind. Shubhan's not very clear about it, but he has to go. Both the bowler and the wicketkeeper were quite confident the moment the catch was taken. So the first wicket down at the score of 12. Shubhan caught by Varun off the bowling of Gaurav. Has to walk back to the pavilion with an individual score of 5. Have a look at it. Outside the off stump, shapes it away. A feather of a touch, and the umpire is convinced that the keeper had taken the edge. So 12 for 1 of 1.1. Tala Tanveer, the captain, in at number 3. Has a job on hand. He has to make sure he guides his team. Tala has played 23 matches, 639, strike rate of 125. That's an healthy average and strike rate. What his team will be expecting is the captain leads from the front. So far has done well. He has kept wickets. He's bowled and now has to bat for his side. Twelve for 1. This one will be called wide. He's trying to move it off the air, but guilty of bowling from the 6th or 7th stump line and then moving it more. So that's not what will be needed. You start on around the off stump and then shape it away. Get that batsman to play for that rather than leave it. Score 13 for 1. Much better line this time. More closer to the stumps. Tala plays it towards short covers. No run there. (13 for 1). Plays it softly to back to the bowler, and they quickly complete a single, asking for a run out, and we will be going upstairs. Saad was struggling out there. Field is confident, but let's see what does the replay show on our screen. Varun up to the stumps. A nice bit of bounce into his hands. Have a look at it. Shad is struggling out there. Clean take out there. And Shad is short of his grounds by a couple of yards. And the second wicket for Nasco, I guess, and Shad, the other opener, back to the pavilion. He is run out for 2 of 3. Shad was quite casual out there and paid the penalty for that. Shad making his way back to the pavilion. Dejected. Mohsen the man at number 4. Mohsen on strike. Plays a dot ball, so he white ball, 1 more run added. Score moves on to 14. Score 14 for 2. And another wide added to the total. So lengthy overs by Nasco. Although they've got 2 wickets, they are guilty of bowling on both sides of the wicket and have at the moment given away 15 extras. Sorry, have given away 8 extras. As we have another dot ball added to the, which keeps the score to 15. Last ball edges this one towards third man. By the time the short third man reaches there, the batsmen come back for 2. So 2 more runs added and end of the over. Score moves on to 17 for the loss of 2 wickets.
And to be able to be there at that time, it's exciting to be able to help all these families and get them back to normal life. Because as a adjuster, that is our main goal, to restore families, after catastrophe, bring them back, and even the community too, bring them back to some sort of normal life and help them.
For us to be able to help restore and enhance their lives, their businesses, and their communities. I mean, that's what it's all about. That's what's really exciting.
A big part of it for me is to be able to help people get their lives back on track and be able to move forward after an aftermath.
And that is what we do day in and day out, with helping people get back into their homes, with restoring the community. Our guys live and breathe that motto every single day.
Over number 3 to begin. Shabir trying to go across the stump, missed his footing and fell down. No run there. Have a look at that. Balls. The moment it was played, he misses his footing. Lucky for him, he fell on the side of his foot and didn't twist his ankle. So lucky for his. Tala plays this towards covers. A nice pose, but no run there. Score remains on 17. Starting to settle into a good line. Guilty of bowling a lengthy over the last time, so we'll be hoping that he doesn't do that, as this time plays it towards short square leg. Biju the fielder there, and another dot ball. Captain immediately asking for a field change. Brings the man from long off inside, wanting to send a man down towards the mid-wicket boundary. This time plays it towards gully. The fielder manages to field it with his legs, so keeps it down to a single. And score moves on to 18. 4 balls completed in the over, just a single of that so far. Brings Mohsen on to strike. Mohsen drives this towards covers. No run there. Last ball of the third over coming up. This time much fuller, drives it and through the cover boundary, the first boundary of the innings. End of the over, 22 for the loss of 2 wicket. Fuller length, right in the slot. And have a look at that. Mohsen just plants his foot across and sends this towards the cover boundary for the first one of the innings. Over number 4 to begin. Gaurav the bowler was the wicket taker in the last over, the first ball that he had bowled. So this time Tala plays it towards short covers. Again, no run there. Not much timing or power behind that to challenge the fielder at covers. This time will be called a wide, chasing that one, but still moving away from him. Another single added, so score moves on to 23. This will be a cause of concern for Nasco. They have already given away a lot of extras in the first 3 overs of the innings. As this one will be called a wide again, so one more. Absolutely not in any rhythm whatsoever. You just cannot think of coming and sending the ball to the other side of the wicket. You need to plan yourself, you need to execute it, need to keep control of the ball. And at the moment, both these opening bowlers have been failing to do that, as Tala plays it back towards the bowler, but no run there. Gaurav this time slightly more closer to the bat and plays it towards point. The fielder there quite quick on his toes, doesn't allow the single, so score remains on 24. Tala is batting 1 of 9 balls As this time he plays it towards long on boundary for a single. The score moves on to 25. Four balls completed in the over. Much better ball, plays it towards point again. There's no run there. The moment he's kept it within the lines, the batsman has not been able to get him off the square. So this is what he needs to keep thinking, is to keep it closer to the stumps. Sam sends the man down towards the point boundary and brings the man at from long on into the circle. Full ball, plays it towards short third and completion of the over. 25 for 2 at the end of 4 overs. Mawson batting 6 of 7 and Tala 2 of 10. Fifth over to begin, and Shabir starts off with a wide. Takes the score on to 26. So already completed one ball in the over and then bowls a wide. This time onto the pads. Plays it towards short square. There's no run there. This time Tala plays it in the air towards the man at long on, and a well judged catch. So Tala's miserable innings comes to a close. He's faced 12 balls, scored 2 runs, and in the end his patience run out, plays it in the air and is caught at long on for an individual score of 12. Have a look at this. Fetches it from outside the off stump. More better had he played it towards the long off boundary, but caught and caught by Gaurav off the bowling of Shabir for 2. And further trouble for Munich. They are now 26 for 3 in 4.3. New man in, Salahuddin comes in at number 5. 14 matches, 110 runs, strike rate of 90. At the moment, his job will be to ensure that he keeps Mawson company and try to get to the score of 168. Needing another 142 runs of the remaining 93 balls. Required run rate has crossed 9 runs and over now. It only starts getting tough from here on if you don't keep getting those runs thick and fast. 26 for 3. Onto the pads, right up to the batsman. Salahuddin plays it dead straight. Yes. Shabir to Salahuddin, quite straight again, plays it back to the bowler. Another dot ball. Last ball of the 5th over coming up. One more over of the power play to follow after this. This is the first of the 3 games on a Super Sunday here at the Al Malik grounds of the Insurance Cricket Premier League Season 11. This is the plate event. As 3 consecutive dot balls to end the over, apart from the wicket at the second ball of the over. 26 for the loss of 3 wickets at the end of 5 overs. Salahuddin is yet to get off the mark with the 3 balls he faced. Mohsin batting 6 of 7, and he is the one who scored the lone boundary of the innings so far. Over number 6, the first change, Biju coming in to bowl the last over of power play as Mohsin tries to send this towards the cover boundary, gets the in and off of the bat and manages to get a single and is off strike right now. Score moves on to 27, brings Salahuddin back to strike. Biju ka analysis there. Outside the off stump, wanting to cut this one. The umpire says that's a legal delivery. So dot ball. Biju's played 24 matches. He's 11 wickets. Economy of 9.06. Slightly on the higher side, but this is a T20 format. The moment you go for a few runs, your averages take a bit of a beating. As this time, much better ball closer to the stumps, beating Salahuddin for pace out there. The score remains on 27. Needing another 141 more runs of 14.3. This time will be called a wide, trying to do a bit more, putting a bit of extra effort, but in the bargain giving away that extra run. "12 wides of the innings so far. This time much better line, closer to the stumps. The moment he's bowling in closer to the stumps, the batsmen are finding it difficult to get them off the square or down the ground. So one more dot ball. Not a difficult task, if you can say that they need to just keep it in the right areas. This time Salahuddin wanting to get off strike with that single and off the mark, but still not yet succeeded. He's now none of the 6 balls that he's faced so far. In the air towards the left of mid-off, still no run there. End of the over, 28 for the loss of 3 wickets at the end of power play, needing another 140 or 14. So the required run rate now has touched 10 runs, and the umpire says the conclusion of power play, and we'll be into the second phase of that game. Shabir to continue his last over of the day as he sends us towards short covers. Mohsin, no run there. onto the pads and he's bowled him. So the fourth wicket down. It was foolish delivery. He played around it and saw his leg stump getting pegged back. So the fourth dismissal, have a look at that. Slower in the air and yoked himself up, and to see his leg stump pegged back. Mohsen, the man out. Bowled for an individual score of 7 of 10 balls with 1 boundary to his credit. 28 for 4. New man at number 6. Syed Mudassir, the man, 9 matches, 81 runs, strike rate of 76.7. .28 for 4. Last man to go is Mohsen. He was bowled by Shabir, who's now got 2 wickets to his credit, who is into the final over of his spell and nearly got the third one. Syed Mudassir missing that one, and the ball just misses the off stump. Lucky for him, else he could have been the 5th one to go. Have a look at it. Mudassir, Shabir just keeping it straight and just misses the off stump as Mudassir plays it towards mid-on, trying to effect a run out, but not to be. So another dot ball. Score remains on 28. 2 more balls left in the over. His analysis so far: 3.4 overs, 18 runs, 2 wickets. So good comeback after giving a few in the first over, as Mudassir this time plays it towards short mid wicket, and another dot ball added to the tally. Score remains on 28. Last ball of the over, last ball of his spell today, as he plays it towards short mid wicket, and a single completed to end the over. 29 for 4 at the end of 7 overs, needing another 139 of 13. Syed Mudassir off the mark with that single, and Salahuddin yet to get off the mark of the 8 he's bowled, or he's played, sorry.
And to be able to be there at that time, it's exciting to be able to help all these families and get them back to normal life. Because as a adjuster, that is our main goal, to restore families, after catastrophe, bring them back, and even the community too, bring them back to some sort of normal life, and help them.
For us to be able to help restore and enhance their lives, their businesses, and their communities, I mean, that's what it's all about. That's what's really exciting.
A big part of it for me is to be able to help people get their lives back on track and be able to move forward after an aftermath.
And that is what we do day in and day out, with helping people get back into their homes, with restoring the community. Our guys live and breathe that motto every single day.
Biju to start off as Mudassir places in the air towards the deep mid-wicket boundary for the second boundary of the innings, his first. Biju pitches this one up and he makes use of the length that was there. Have a look at that. The pitched up and plays it over the mid-wicket boundary. A few bounces and the ball races away towards the mid-wicket fence. Much needed boundary for Manich as he plays this one in the air. This time the man at long on is halfway, hoping to get one which is closer to him. Gets a score on to 34 with that single, and he moves on to 6 of the 6 balls he's faced. Brings Salahuddin on to strike, who is yet to get out the mark. So already faced 8 balls. Misses the full toss, goes on one knee and through his knees towards the keeper. So 9 balls faced, yet to get out the mark. Score remains on 34. The required run rate now jumps to 10.58. Will be called a wide. Biju is again the effort ball that he has. He's not able to control that one, so gives away one more run. Score moves on to 35. Make that ball number 10 and no runs yet, so score remains on 35. Another miss and one more dot ball. .133 more required of 12.1. It's the last ball of the 8th over coming up. It's wide, so that will be have to re-bowled, as extras have already reached 13. The only score that has reached double figures so far for Manich. Onto the pads, the umpire not interested, probably going down leg side. So end of the over. 36 for the loss of 4 wickets at the end of 8. Syed Mudassir batting 6 of 6. Salahuddin is yet to get out the mark of the 12 balls he's faced. Spin coming in, Jagdish Lakshman. Right arm off spin. He is going to bowl the 9th over of the innings. Tosses this one back. Mudassir plays it back towards him. No run there. There has to be some intent if they want to get anywhere closer to that 167. There's no point in just playing out the overs. You need to show some intent. Get a few runs under your belt, as this time plays it towards short covers. By the time the fielder misfields and comes back to field it, a single has been taken. So Mudassir goes on to 7 score, moves on to 37, brings Salahuddin on to strike. This time Salahuddin plays it towards long off and he's off the mark. It's taken 13 balls for him to get off the mark, and the score moves on to 38. This time Mudassir plays it towards deep mid wicket and a single. Score moves on to 39. tosses this one up quite close to the body. Jagdish quite excited, wanting to ask for a caught behind, but Varun has not collected the ball, so there's no point asking that question. So remains on 39 with the ball to go in the over. Again, another tossed up delivery towards the Manich. Short covers who made a good effort, but in the end couldn't hold on to that. End of the over, 4 runs coming off it, 40 for the loss of no wicket. Jagdish Lakshman finishing his first over for 4 runs. The last over of the, before we go into the drinks break, 40 for the loss of no wicket at 9, as this one's been misfielded and races away towards the boundary. So Salahuddin gets his first boundary of the innings, courtesy a misfield. Have a look at that. Witt plays this one, the fielder at point lets this go through his hands, and the ball races towards the point boundary for 4. Score moves on to 44. Salahuddin moves on to 6. And Dr. Naveen has been greeted with a boundary. The second one bowls it on the pad. He wants to play it with all the might, but manages to get it on his pads. No run there. Dr. Naveed Aslam continues, much better ball, plays this towards point this time. Fielder there doing well to cut off the ball, no run there. Score remains on 44. For 4. This time onto the pads and helps himself towards the long leg boundary. So one more boundary to the totals coming in quick succession after quite a lull period, and now Salahuddin managing to get a few onto the bat. Have a look at it, enough time, he swivels across, sends it towards the long leg boundary for 4 more. Score moves on to 48 of 9.4. Required run rate reaching 11.61. They need a few boundaries and need them in quick clusters. Let's place this one in the air towards the extra cover boundary. Fielder there coming around, sends this towards the keeper, who senses that the throw's not going to be that great, so moves forward, collects the ball. That's good match awareness. You need to understand your fielders, you need what their strengths are and where you need to step up to help the side. Last ball of the over, has placed this towards point. There's no run there. Rather, that was the 5th ball of the over. One more 10 overs completed, 49 for the loss of 4 wickets. As we have a look at the scorecard, Shubhan Ahmed and Shad were the first to open the innings. Shubhan was caught by Varun off the bowling of Gaurav with 5 runs of 6 balls. Shad Chara was run out by Varun for 2 of 3. Tala Tanveer was caught by Gaurav off the bowling of Shabir for 2 of 13. Mohsen Ali was bowled by Shabir for 7 of 10. Salahuddin had a slow start. He needed 13 balls to get off the mark, but since then has scored 11 of 20 with 2 boundaries. Syed Mudassir is batting 8 of 10 with 1 boundary, 14 extras in the innings, 49 for 4. Have a look at the bowling card. 5 bowlers used. Shabir has finished his quota of 4 overs for 16 runs and 2 wickets. He's been the one guilty of bowling 4 wides and 2 no balls. Gaurav Bachani 2 overs 10 runs 1 wicket. He's given away 5 wides. Biju 2 overs 9 runs no wicket. He's given away 3 wides. Jagdish economical 1 over 4 runs no wicket, and Dr. Naveen was one who went for 2 boundaries, gave away 9 runs of the 1 over he's bowled. The fall of wickets, Shubhan was out with the score of 12 at 1.1. The second to go was Shad at the score of 13 at 1.3, and then Tala was out when the score was 26 in 4.3, and Mohsen was the last who was out at the score of 28 when the in over number 6.2. Over number 11 to begin, Jagdish Lakshman to continue. He's given away 4 runs of the first over he's bowled. Bowling to Salahuddin as he plays it softly with no run. Needing 119 of the 10 overs at the start of this over, 11.9, and with the dot ball the run rate now reaches 12.10. So they practically need 2 runs every ball, as this time Salahuddin plays it towards the square leg boundary for his 3rd boundary. And the 50 coming up in 10.2. And Salahuddin moves on to 15 of 22. Have a look at slow, quite into his slot, and he just turns around and sends this towards the empty deep square leg boundary. Jagdish just having a look at his field around. Will have to bowl according to the field that he set, as he tosses this one up, and a bit of a bounce there. Both the batsman and the wicketkeeper beaten there. Gets a bye run. Score moves on to 54. For the loss of 4 wickets. Three balls complete. At this time, the 4th ball, again slightly slower, goes onto the back foot, plays it towards deep mid wicket. The batsman complete a single. Score moves on to 55. Change in the wicket keeping, as Varun has given away his gloves. Probably will come on to bowl. At this time, Salahuddin plays it towards the man at square leg. A couple of times the ball is juggled and out of the hands. Could have been wicket number 5, but the batsman survives. Have a look at it. Plays it in the air. The man kept specially for that. 1, 2, and the second one, the first time he didn't get it. The second attempt was not that great. He tried it with a single hander and manages to drop that one. So score moves on to 57. For the loss of 4 wickets at the end of 11 overs. So the 8 runs coming off the last over, 7 of the bat, 1 bye. So 57 for 4 at the end of 11. Another 111 required of the remaining 9 overs, leading at 12.33. Yes. Prasad Hiremat comes to bowl. His 16 matches, 2 wickets. Starts off from round the wicket. A couple of paces only, and he tosses the ball up, wanting the batsman to take all the effort, as the fielder there at deep mid wicket, keeps it down to a single. One run of the 2 balls that he's bowled so far keeps the score to 58. Slow one, plays it towards the man at covers, the man at extra cover, tracks back and keeps it down to a single. Again, this was an attempt that should have been taken. You got to back yourself to take those catches. You have enough in the bank that you can take a chance of trying to go for a catch and give away a couple of runs if required, as Prasad this time bowls it outside the off stump from round the wicket, slanting the ball in, will be given a wide. So one more run added and the score moves on to 60. This time slower one and the batsman plays it towards the man at deep mid wicket, unable to clear the boundary. Jagdish, the fielder there, keeps it down to a single. These are moments that you need to seize. It was in the slot. There was quite a bit of effort, but in the end managing only to take a single of that, as Salahuddin goes onto the back foot and plays it towards the man at point, gets a single. Score moves on to 61. This time quite slow and enough time to send this towards the fine leg boundary. So now Salahuddin getting to switch gears. He's got his 4th boundary. It was way too slow. Have a look at it. Enough time to move around, pick his spot, and sends this a few bounces towards the fine leg boundary. So end of the over, 65 for the loss of 4. Salahuddin batting 21 of 27 and Syed Muzassir batting 12 of 5. And another wicket to fall. Jagdish getting a cotton ball of his own bowling. And the 5th wicket down. Have a look at it. Tosses this one up. He goes on the back foot, plays it, splices it, and Jagdish takes a cotton ball of his own bowling. The man out, Syed Mudassir, out for 12 of 16 balls, with 1 boundary to his credit, and a partnership that was blooming is now nipped in the bud.
And to be able to be there at that time, it's exciting to be able to help all these families and get them back to normal life. Because as a adjuster, that is our main goal, to restore families, after catastrophe, bring them back, and even the community too, bring them back to some sort of normal life and help them.
For us to be able to help restore and enhance their lives, their businesses, and their communities. I mean, that's what it's all about. That's what's really exciting.
A big part of it for me is to be able to help people get their lives back on track and be able to move forward after an aftermath.
And that is what we do day in and day out, with helping people get back into their homes, with restoring the community. Our guys live and breathe that motto every single day.
Kasi, the new man, who will be coming to take strike. The second ball of the over. The first ball, 65 for 5. Kasi, the new man. Goes on the back foot, plays it towards mid wicket for a single. He gets off the mark with that single. Score moves on to 66. Matches, 33 runs. As this time slightly quicker from Jagdish. No run there. Score remains on 66. This time not outside the off stump, gives him the enough width to play that stroke. Goes towards deep cover for another single. Score moves on to 67. Down the track, is that a stumping? And the umpire not interested. Probably the keeper is a foot and a half behind. Jagdish just inquiring whether they can go upstairs for a referral. The umpire not keen on that. अंपायर ने रेफरल का सिग्नल ही नहीं मांगा. बैटिंग टीम क्यों लेगा? भाई अंपायर रेफरल मांगेगा तो देंगे ना भाई. हम अपने आप से डिसाइड करेंगे कि आउट है कि नॉट आउट है. After the decision of not out, we continue the game. Score remains at 67 for 5. The keeper was probably a bit behind. That what saved the batsman, as this one plays it towards slip. Very good field placement, sensing that there could be an edge going down there. End of the over. Eventful over, a wicket, a chance of a stumping, and to end it, a ball towards slip with no run there. 67 for 5. Over the wicket. ऐसे करते Prasad comes into bowl down the leg side, and this one's been called a wide. He has to be careful. He's bowling way too slow, and Salahuddin is going to send this towards the fine leg boundary. The keeper's right in line there. Not a good ploy to go round the wicket. More better if he comes over the wicket as he tosses this one up, slants it across. The batsman take off for a single, and the score moves on to 69. 99 more runs required of the remaining 41 balls that are there. Required run rate reaching 14.50 as another stumping chance, and this time it's referred upstairs again. is referred upstairs for another stumping. Keepers collected the ball correctly behind the stumps. Have a look at it. Batsman is out of his crease as of now, still outside the crease, and this time the ball's on the line. It belongs to the umpire. Let's have a look whether the ball is. One more frame. Ball is dropped. Ball is dropped. And the ball's off the gloves, and the hands are the one hitting. Not out. Ball dropped. Not out. And another error by the wicketkeeper. This time the ball not in the hands, and the keepers missed another stumping. Absolutely nowhere closer to. बॉल नीचे ड्रॉप हुई, सीधी ड्रॉप हुई है. नहीं अभी टच नहीं हुई. उसने विकेट ब्रेक कर दिया, so it will be dead from there on. So the keeper missing two stumpings. First thing, he is not closer to the stumps, that is why he needs that extra second and a half, and second, not collecting the ball cleanly makes him miss a couple of efforts. Varun might be ruining the decision that he gave away the keeping gloves to somebody else, and this time it'll be called a wide. Score moves on to 71 as the batsman plays it softly towards short mid wicket. No run there. The keeper and Bull are converging quickly, trying to stop the single. 97 more required. 2 more balls left in the over. This time slanting it across the right-hander, much quicker. Batsman beaten out there. Salahuddin batting. And another wide. Gets the score to 72. This time short, plays it towards square leg, and for the first maximum of the over. So those extra balls have cost them some runs. A bit of a headache for Varun. He needs to find somebody who can bowl in place of Uttam. Right now it is Prasad, but he's way too short, and Salahuddin doesn't miss out on it. The man at square leg was quite in, so missed that chance as well. So another miss for Nasco, although they are well in control of the game. 78 for 5 of 14, needing another 90 of the remaining 6 overs at the rate of 15 runs. Dr. Naveed comes back, who had gone for 9 runs of the 1 over that he had bowled. Kasi plays it back towards the bowler, and a quick single being taken. Again, the keeper not collecting the ball, is standing a foot and a half away from the stumps. If you have the gloves on, you have to make sure you're next to the stumps, else it is not worth standing there and trying to just collect the ball. As Salahuddin plays it back towards the bowler, he feels of his own bowling. There's a dot ball there. He's batting 29 of 34 with 4 boundaries and a 6. This time slightly short, plays it towards deep mid wicket, and the fielder again guilty of standing a few feet way too close away from the boundary. So 1 more 4 to the total. Have a look at that. He's missed that chance and allowed that boundary to go. You need to understand who is the batsman, and according to that, set yourself up. Salahuddin News packs a bit of a punch in his stroke, so you're better off coming in rather than trying to pedal back. And now he is now at the edge of the circle, a dot ball. Dr. Navi this time bowling it a bit more fuller outside the off stump. The moment it is on middle and leg, Salahuddin is quite happy to make use of it. This time again closer to the stump, sends it towards the mid wicket boundary. The fielder there, Varun, keeps it down to a single. Takes the score on to 84. And Salahuddin on 34 of 37 with 4 boundaries and a maximum. Kasi plays it towards covers. The batsman crossover for a single. One more run. Score moves on to 85. End of the 15th over. 83 more needed of the remaining 5. Welcome back. Jagdish Lakshman to come and bowl his last over. His 3 overs is 13 runs with a wicket. This time the edge passes the fielder at short third. Batsman complete 1 and now come back for 2. Jagdish asking for the ball, but the batsman has made his ground. So 2 more runs added to the total. Kasi moves on to 6 of 7. The score moves on to 87 with that double. 6 of 8 rather. Full toss, plays it towards mid-on rather. The shot was intended to play towards mid-wicket but sent towards mid-on for a single. Score moves on to 88. Another tossed up delivery, this time bringing it back to the batsman. He plays it with soft hands. Chance of a run out again. The fielder's way too slow in those throws, so gets another single. And the score moves on to 89. 89 of 15.3. Kasi goes onto the back foot, plays it towards square leg. There's a fielder there for that. Moves on to 90. 2 more balls left in his spell. He's given away just 18 runs. Economical so far as Kasi places back towards the bowler. Full toss sends this towards the square leg boundary and still not able to send it over the fence. He's given away a single. End of the over. 91 for the loss of 5 wickets. 4 overs left, needing another 77 more. And Jagdish Lakshman finishing his quota of 4 overs, 19 runs and 1 wicket to his credit. Gaurav to start the 17th over, given away 8 runs in the 2 overs. He's bowled and taken 1 wicket, as this time the batsman plays it back to him. A dot ball. Salahuddin, who's now batting 36 of 41. The lone man putting up a fight for his side. As Gaurav this time bowls to him, and the batsman sends this towards the square leg boundary for a boundary. Moves on to 95, and he moves on to 36 of 41. Sorry, he moves on to 40 or 42 with that boundary. Score 95. Again shot, this time towards the mid-wicket boundary for another boundary. So he moves on to 44, and the score moves on to 99. He's trying to make a fight out of it, but is it a bit too late? With no support whatsoever. Have a look at that. It was again shot. The moment it's shot, he goes on one knee and packs a bit of a punch behind that stroke. So four more to the total. Change in plans now, comes round the wicket. Not sure if that's a good plan, because you are going to now try to slant it and give away that length that he's looking for. So hat trick of boundaries, gets the score past 100, 103 for 5. And Salahuddin moves to 48, his 8th boundary. Have a look at that. No power whatsoever in that ball. Sit up to be hit. Enough time to just choose his spot. And the score moves on to 48. Trying to repeat that stroke. Gets a single. Gets off strike with that single. 104 for 5. 64 more needed of 19 balls. Is now 49 or 45. Run taken, and they get a single. End of the over, 105 for 5.
And to be able to be there at that time, it's exciting to be able to help all these families and get them back to normal life. Because as a adjuster, that is our main goal, to restore families after catastrophe, bring them back, and even the community too, bring them back to some sort of normal life, and help them.
For us to be able to help restore and enhance their lives, their businesses, and their communities. I mean, that's what it's all about. That's what's really exciting.
A big part of it for me is to be able to help people get their lives back on track and be able to move forward after an aftermath.
And that is what we do day in and day out, with helping people get back into their homes, with restoring the community. Our guys live and breathe that motto every single day.
Biju to bowl the 18th over. As bowls it full, Kasi plays it towards mid wicket. Varun, the fielder, skipper, who's stationed himself at the mid wicket boundary, keeps it down to a single. Score moves on to 106. This is the first game of the day. 2 more games to follow of the Super 8. Biju comes to bowl to Salahuddin, who plays it towards the long on boundary, and the fielder misses that one and sends this one towards the fence. So a well compiled 50 for Munich by Salahuddin. He moves on to 53 with 9 boundaries and a maximum. Playing a lone hand in this chase. 53 of 46, 9 boundaries, 1-6, and he's not done yet. This one up in the air and falls short of Varun, who comes in and keeps it down to a single. Score moves on to 110. Have a look at that. Goes all out on that stroke. The man at long on, Jagdish, misjudges that one and lets the ball go over to the boundary. As Kasi plays this towards a point boundary and the ball goes to the fence. So back-to-back boundaries in the over, apart from the single in between. Takes the score on to 115. They're not over yet. They're trying to make as much as they can, try to get themselves as close as possible to the total. At one stage, didn't look like they could make 100, 110, have already reached 115. They still have another 14 balls and will want to come up as close as possible as Kasi drives this towards wanting to drive down the ground, but in the end plays it off the inner half of the bat and goes towards square leg, where he takes another couple of runs. And the score moves on to 117. Both these batsmen came in at the score of 65, so the 50 run partnership between these two in quick time has ensured that they bring some respectability to the total. As this one, Biju bowls a slower one, slightly jags it back in. The batsman beaten all ends up. End of the 18th over, 117 for 5. Varun comes in to bowl the 19th over. Misses his run up, so has to reload again. This time, batsman going all out, but the keeper missing that one, and the batsman come back for 2. The fielder misfielding 2, allowing that second run to be completed. It's the edge that took the ball away from the keeper. So 2 more runs to the total. Score moves on to 119, needing another 49 runs of the remaining 1.4 overs. As Varun drops the catch of his own bowling, allows the batsman to complete a single, and the score moves on to 120. Have a look at it. Much quicker. The keeper missing that one, allowing another single to be scored. And the umpire calls it a bye. So 1 more extra to the total. Have a look at the drop catch of the previous ball. Have a look at it. Tosses this one out. Batsman plays it back off the toe end of the bat. Varun slightly late, unable to take that one, so allows that catch to go through. 121 for 5 as another one hits the edge and falls short. Dot ball. 121 for 5. Last ball of the penultimate over. One more over to follow after this. 47 needed more, as this time plays it in the air. The man at long on just ambling across and takes it on the bounce. End of the over. A quick one to finish. 122 for 5, and one more over to come up. Well, Salahuddin has decided to retire himself out. A good gesture. Rather, it is Kasi who's decided to retire himself out. 15 or 16 balls, a good gesture, allowing the rest of the batsmen to get a chance if possible. As the first one played in the air, fielder making half an effort, allows a single to be completed, brings Ken on to strike. Score moves on to 123. Ken facing Biju. Plays it in the air, gets off the mark with that single. And a loud cheer from the dugout. $124 for 6. Again, plays it across the line in the air. Fall short of the man at deep mid wicket. A single being scored. Score moves on to 125. Biju bowls to Ken, who places towards the cover boundary. There's a fielder there and another single added. Score moves on to 126. Couple of balls left in the game. And Nasco pocketing their second game in this plate. Needs to be seen how many more are scored in these last two balls as batsmen take a single. अबे लास्ट में कौन का आ रही है सर एक बॉल खेलने के लिए कौन भेजता है बेवकूफ As another batsman decides to retire himself out, Salahuddin retired out, allowing his partner to come and face the last ball. Umair bold हो गया actually. His last ball of the innings. Is a dot ball. So 126 for 7 at the end of their. Have a look at that. The 7th wicket that fell. Chops onto his stumps. And the 7th wicket was Salahuddin, who was out bowled. And then Umair came in to face the last ball. No score by him. So the end at 126. A 41 run victory for Nasco against Munich Mena. So have a look at the scorecard before we go into the presentation. Subhan caught Varun, bowled Gaurav 5 of 6. Shah Chara run out Gaurav and Varun for 2. Tala Tanveer, the captain, got Gaurav, bowled Shabir 2 of 13. Mohsen Ali 7 of 10 with 1 boundary. Salahuddin, the man, stand out 60 of 55 with 9 boundaries, 1 6. He started off late, scoring his first run of 13 balls and then picked up not much of support by the rest of them. Syed Mudassir caught and bowled Jagdish for 12 of 16 with 1 boundaries. Kasi was the one retired, 16 of 16 with 1 boundary. Kenneth not out 2 of 2, and Umair not out none of 1 ball. 20 extras in the innings, 2 byes, 16 wides, 2 no balls. Completed that 126 that they scored. Shabir 4 overs 19 runs, 2 wickets, the standout bowler. Gaurav 3 overs 22 with 1. Biju 4 overs 25 runs, 1 wicket. Jagdish 4 overs 19 runs with 1 wicket. Dr. Naveed 2 overs 16 runs, no wicket. Prasad 2 overs 19 runs, no wicket. And Varun bowling that solitary over for 4 runs. So a 41 run victory for Nasco as they have the second victory in the Plate League. We have presentations coming up in the next few minutes. Welcome to the post-match presentation of this plate game between Nasco and Munich Ari. Nasco winning by 41 runs in this Super Sunday, the first of the 3 games to be held. We have a man of the match, Biju, for his magnificent 40 in quick time, and a wicket as well in his 4 overs. The umpire giving away the man of the match trophy. Quick word with Biju. Biju, promoted up the order, made good use of the long levers that you have.
Yes, I think the start was good as well. We got a good start, and Jagdish was also there. So he just told me to take it easy. The ball is keeping low, to just wait for the ball and go for the shots. Thankfully, it connected. So.
And even at the bowling front, you were moving the ball both ways. Coming towards the business end, how much confident are you that you're prepared to play those last games?
We have been playing well. We just had certain unfortunate, some of our players were injured. So, the team has not been at full strength. But this time, I think the team is shaping up well. So, let's see. We are hoping to do our best.
Thank you and good luck for the rest of the tournament and congratulations for that. We'll talk to Tala from Munich. Tala, 160, a little too much at the end when you were chasing down and when the start that you were looking for didn't come the way you wanted it to.
I think 160 was a good score, and that's something we would have taken at the toss. So I think we could have done a little better in the field. We gave 20 runs too many, and then the top order batsmen, the top 4, they have to take responsibility, but lost early wickets, so we just couldn't get back in the game after that.
And the positive, Salahuddin at one end was there. He took time to get his first runs, but when he got them, he was really timing the ball really well.
No, absolutely. That's a really good sign. Someone coming lower down the order, scoring runs. It just gives us confidence. If the top 4 can just really stick it in the next match and going forward, then I think we have someone, Salah, back in form at the lower order. So I think this is a really positive sign for the coming matches.
And to be able to be there at that time, it's exciting to be able to help all these families and get them back to normal life. Because as a adjuster, that is our main goal, to restore families, after catastrophe, bring them back, and even the community too, bring them back to some sort of normal life and help them.
For us to be able to help restore and enhance their lives, their businesses, and their communities. I mean, that's what it's all about. That's what's really exciting.
A big part of it for me is to be able to help people get their lives back on track and be able to move forward after an aftermath.
And that is what we do day in and day out, with helping people get back into their homes, with restoring the community. Our guys live and breathe that motto every single day.
journey begin. Who win this year's championship? Come feel the heat of this dream. Witness the strength and confidence of those who face these challenges. Cause in the end, we are